Hi everyone and welcome to Flippin' Heck Business, Flip Learning for AQA A-Level Business Studies. Now this is a continuation of the decision making to improve marketing performance. So this is Unit 3. Now this is Video 6A. Now just to explain that the next couple of videos are actually going to tie in together, but I thought I'd break them down just to make it a little bit easier to actually revise from. So we're going to be looking at market segmentation in this particular video, then also looking at targeting and positioning, which are in the next couple. So we're going to look at like niche markets, etc., etc. So things that these tie closely together with is like marketing strategy. So again, still Unit 3. Niche and mass markets, Unit 3. Competitiveness. So again, Unit 3, like developing into like some of the other areas. Market research, marketing mix, and then adding value as well. So it's all about the segmentation. It's very sort of marketing orientated. So how businesses actually use it. So they use it to decide like which customers are they actually going to serve. So who is their market segmentation? What parts of the market are they going to supply to? And it helps them to target as well. So it means that instead of just going after one or two like particular groups of people, you'll be able to be a lot more focused instead of like maybe just blanket bombing everybody with all of your marketing. It also helps you decide how to serve those customers. So in other words, like product differentiation. So what makes you stand out from the competition? If there's a lot of people doing TVs, well, what makes your TV unique? Market positioning as well. So how you are viewed by the public. Are you seen as being a high-level item, a luxury good, or are you actually an inferior good? Are you a low-level item? So what actually is market segmentation? So it involves dividing a market into parts that reflect different customer needs and wants. So again, if you think about the videos that we've looked at in the past, we were talking about the gaming market. Well, you know, if we break it down further, then you've got people who are interested in online games, you've got people who are interested in standalone games, first-person shooters, etc., etc. But that would be just the gaming market. If we went for the car industry, then again we can see that like there's a breakdown in like types and wants that people actually have. And if you're going to supply anything, like certainly any kind of like big product item, then you're going to want to know who your actual market segment is. Not everybody wants an SUV. Not everybody wants a sports car. So the common categories that we've got are demographic, geographic, income, and then behavioural. Now, demographic is like things where you can break it down like age, etc., etc. Geographic is location. Income is how much money you're actually making. Then behavioural is your relationship with the products. So you can see here, demographic, dividing the target population into characteristics. So we've got like age, gender, family, lifestyle, religion, ethnicity. Geographical, so breaking it into nations, regions, cities, neighbourhoods, or importantly, if they are rural or urban, because there is going to be a big difference between like maybe what people have access to or what people will actually want, depending on like what style of like area they actually live in. You're not going to want a 4x4 off-roader if you're actually just sort of nipping to the shops and back on a regular basis. And same, you're not going to want a small car if you've got to lug around big heavy goods at any point. Income, so this is like your socio-economic grouping. So it's having a look at like, you know, what your profession is, what your income is, how much money you're making. So are you casual labor? Are you an unskilled worker? Are you skilled manual worker? I mean, like, are you like say carpenters or plumbers? Are you a professional? So like, do you actually have like, you know, are you sort of maybe a lower level banker, or like are you an intermediate manager? Are you higher level? So again, like, you know, you could be on 100,000 plus. Are you the 1%? Behavioral. So this is looking at like the way that you respond to the products and what kind of benefits you're actually seeking. So, you know, are you after a particular like brand? Are you after a particular style? Do you buy it regularly? Is it like one-off buys? So here's some examples. We've got like age, job, family, nationality, gender, etc. So like with holidays, you can see here that we've got Club 18 to 30, which is obviously then marketed towards low deposits. It's for younger people. They don't want anyone older. It's probably aimed at single people more than anything. Maybe groups of lads or groups of girls who want to go out and have fun. Then we've got things like centre parks, which might be aimed at like families with slightly older children, where you can do like a lot of fun activities. You can rent rent chalets, etc. Go biking, swimming, go archery. Then you've got down at the bottom left is Butlins, which is designed very much for like people with younger children, maybe can't afford to go away on holiday to abroad. So they'll take them somewhere in the UK instead, where there's a lot of fun activities. The kids can sort of go off and do their own thing, and the parents can as well. And then on the bottom right, you've got things like, cruises, which are very much aimed at older people, like see a lot more of the world, like a bit more sedate as well. So then geographic, like a couple of examples here is the great divide between like different parts of the world, parts of the UK with regards to what you have on your chips. So like in Wales, it is curry is the most popular thing to have over chips. In London, it's mayonnaise, because that's a bit weird. In the north, in Scotland, then we've got brown sauce, whereas the most popular topping in the UK, in the north, like Manchester and Yorkshire, is gravy. So if you were looking at like producing any of these products, or if you were looking at supplying any of these products, then what you could do is, certainly if you were looking at chip shops, is say, right, well, what products are actually going to be popular and where? And then if you're supplying nationally, you would make sure that you've got like those depots set up for those particular products. Below that, some of you may or may not know, but Japan has a big fascination with Kit Kat of all the products. So Kit Kat in Japan, even just like regions or cities, have got their own ones available. Things like green tea, wasabi, like apricot, apple, porridge. Like it goes on and on and on. There are something like about 50 or 60 different varieties, and they're all based on different regions. But yeah, in the UK, what do we get? We tend to get white chocolate, dark chocolate, milk chocolate, because that's what's more popular here. They've tried some of the other flavors, they've just not sold. Income segment. So like again, if you look at the car industry here as a prime example, you've got the Kia. Sorry, not the Kia. You've got the car, the Ford car. So that's like a very cheap car, easy to run, doesn't cost much, not much to insure, and it would be aimed at like the lower income family, lower income single people, because it's not got a lot of space. Next, you've got the Ford Edge, which is like a little bit more. I think this one that I looked at was 25,000. So maybe something a bit more for a family, maybe two incomes coming in, and that way then they can like move a lot of people, a lot of goods around. Then you've got the Ford Mustang, personal favorite, which is built like it's not the fastest car that they've got, but it is a steady muscle car. Like again, it's only a two-door, so it's only going to allow like you and your passenger, maybe one squeeze sideways in the back. But you're looking at like again the £42,000 mark for top of the range. Then at the very bottom there, you've got the Ford GT, which is their supercar, and we're looking at like 80,000 plus for one of those. And again, you would aim at each one of these at like the different segments. There's no point in aiming the GT at the lower income households, the lower income workers, because they just won't be able to afford it. And the same that someone who's on 150, 160,000 pound a year wouldn't really want to have like a Ford car when they could show off and actually like show their money and show off in a nicer, better positioned car. And then you've got like behavioural. So with behavioural, it's thinking about like things like occasions. So, are people buying it just for one shots? How often do they use it? Are they loyal to a brand? Are they looking for particular benefits? What's their attitude? Are they knowledgeable about a product? So like here we've got Black Friday is an occasion. So like Black Friday, they suddenly drop a lot of shops drop all the prices. They make it a big shopping day. Then we've got Christmas sales. So again, like trying to get people in, actually spending money. Then January sales, which is always a tough time because like all the Christmas sales are done. People have got credit cards to pay off. So how are we going to get people to still spend money in our shops? Well, they put the price down. And then we get things like, Easter sales coming up. There's no real reason for an Easter sale. It's not a huge national holiday, certainly not one where people give gifts. So they need to find like ways of sort of dragging people in. And as you can see, it is cheap. So really what are we looking at? We're looking at the benefits of market segmenting. So it focuses resources of a market where the business can succeed. So if you are low end or if you're producing a non-premium item, you would aim at that style. You would aim at that kind of person, right? It lets you grow, share own markets, or ride the wave of fast-growing market segments. So you can actually like have a look, well, what is a growth market? Can I get a part of it? Can I get a larger market share? Right? It certainly helps with product development. So you can see, right, so what do people need, or what can we do for them? Kellogg's are very good at this, where they'll do a lot of market research, and then they will produce several items that they will then test focus until they're ready to actually release it, and hope that it will actually go into new products and into new markets, or grab more of their own market share. Then helps to make the marketing mix more effective as well. So like you've got better target for promotion, you've got better target for price, you've got better target for location. So you can actually pull all of this together and create an effective marketing mix, which we'll be covering in later videos. Some of the drawbacks though. So segmentation, it's pretty imprecise. It's not always available, up to date, or reliable. I mean, like a lot of the times you might be having to go out there, spend a lot of money on actually like finding the right segment. So just because you can identify a segment doesn't mean that you can reach the customers in it, right? You need to be realistic. Like you may say, right, well, actually there is a need at the high end of clothing because they're, you know, a lot of the bigger companies maybe are shutting down. Well, that's not going to be very effective if you're not able to produce with a particular design or to a particular standard, right? Then markets are also increasingly dynamic, so they're fast changing. So are these segments as well. Think music genres, think makeup, think clothing. These things change very, very quickly, and the styles and like what people are wearing change with it. And you need to spend a lot of time trying to make sure that you're getting each and every one of those market segments. That can take a lot of effort. Okay, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a comment below and also give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And the next video, which will be video 6B, will be following very, very shortly. Bye-bye.